Okay, so hello guys. I think most of you should know me. I am like 7 star on CodeChef, international master on code forces. Okay, so I believe most of you should be like in between beginner and intermediate, and I think most of the doubts that people have is between those levels. Okay, so if I am right, like just give me heads up in chat so that I know like you guys are actually not like you have not muted me. Just like say something. Okay. Okay, thank you. So mainly the doubts that come in minds like they are mainly how do like someone higher rated approaches the problem. Okay, so I think like I can answer that like even though I'm not that high rated, but I think I'm eligible to answer that being in the criteria where I was a newbie once and I have like grown from that stage. So the first thing is like what do you see like you read a problem properly. Okay, so this comes first. So most of the time
ये तो
like
proposal
mute guys. Okay, okay. So most of the time like more than you can think I have heard the phrase that I read the problem wrong, and I did the same many times before, and I use this phrase myself many times. Okay, so it comes from like hastiness in the contest. Okay, like I'm pretty sure that like you guys are like when a contest starts, you guys are like you have to submit it faster. Okay, I will just share my screen, but like I will share it after like some moment. Okay, so I think when contest starts, like every one of you would be like, okay, I want to like submit as fast as possible so I get a better rank. And most of the time, what happens is you end up getting wrong answer, and you realize that you missed something in the problem. Okay, so if this has happened, like this is really the most common occurrence that can happen to anyone. It happens to me all the time. Okay, so when tackling a problem like this, the whole session is about tackling problems, tackling different types of problems. How do I like approach a problem? So this whole session is about that. Okay, and like reading problem is the first thing that like comes up before tackling the problem. So how do I like I read the problem line by line. Okay, I think some of you might know that I do screencasts, but you might have seen other screencasts as well. Like some of you have seen screencasts of any high rated people, like someone like maybe yeah, Utkarsh Gupta, Amnik. There are many other people. So you might have seen second thread. Yeah, like many people there are that do screencast, and you will see that they always read the problem line by line. They will never haste. Like you will see that they will not do, okay, this is it, I will go to the next line now, because they will acquire every information that is present in the statement. Like like I have seen second thread screencast, like he just reads every problem line by line. Like you will also notice when you see him, like see his screencast, every high rated person reads the problem line by line. It comes like it comes down to how fast is their reading speed. Okay, at the beginning your reading speed will be slow. It with time it will of course increase. So this is the most common, reading line by line. So you will have less chances of making an error. Okay, so now you have read the statement, you have all the information about the problem. Okay, so after that, like I think I only categorize problems into like two things, a DP and a non-DP. Okay, maybe graph or something, but the main problem it comes down to is like if this is DP, can I like go from some state to other state? Okay. Can I solve some sub problem before solving the main problem? Okay. If uh, if you can solve some sub problem before solving the main problem, then you will realize that most of the time it is dynamic programming. Otherwise, it is some kind of optimization over dynamic programming, that like you do some kind of greedy to just optimize this entire DP that you had to do before. Okay. So like you are with me currently, right? I will require like yes or yeah, at some time, but okay. So like, do you guys like agree to everything I've said so far, that most of you will hasten problems or not read the statements clearly? Yeah, this happened to me too when I was a lower rated person. This comes from the facade that if you solve faster, you will be higher rated. Okay. Like there are many people who will just like who will actually just tell you that you don't have to solve fast, and like this is actually really true. You don't have to solve fast. You have to solve it properly. If you solve it 5 minutes after everyone, but they have penalty, then you will be above them. You will not be below them. Okay. To give 1 to 2 minutes extra while reading the problem or while thinking is not a bad thing. Okay. So like I have already told you, like my logic mainly comes from the two parts, whether this is dynamic programming or this is not a dynamic programming. Okay. And for the fun of things, like I always say that the dynamic programming is a problem where you can name the array DP. Okay. I just say that all the time because this is quite true. Like if you can just name the array DP and you can use some previous answer, then it is just dynamic programming. Some like there are some problems that can be solved using greedy too, but who cares if you can name the array DP? Okay. But in greedy problems, how I learned algorithms. See, the fun part that comes from even after reading the question, I'm not getting the solution in mind. Okay, so seeing sometimes seeing low confidence of approaching the problems, how to tackle that problem. Okay, okay, just give me a minute. Okay, most of the time, I cannot say that you see a problem and you are not thinking anything about the problem. Okay, if you are seeing the problem, there will something come to your mind, brute force, something like what you can do. Like it will always come to your mind. And I'm telling you, like what comes to your mind on the first sight after the problem will be most likely correct. And you will blame yourself after the contest that you should have gone on that path. Well, that we will handle after we have solved the problem, but we are still on understanding the problem part. Okay. So how should first sem guy begin programming? Just start giving contests. Okay. So if you are talking about motivation, the thing is the biggest motivation is fame. Like I can't like I can just tell you that I think if you see yourself up on the leaderboard, it will excite you. And you have to be daring enough to think that you can be there. Like if you are newbie and you are not thinking that you can be there, I don't think you will ever be. Okay. If you can't like think that you can reach something, you will never reach that thing. Like when I began competitive programming, my thought always was that I will reach 7 star. I never even once thought that I cannot reach 7 star. It never came to my mind. Okay. So this is the motivation. Okay, we are discussing about the first approach. So first approach that I told you about it. Okay, so first thing is when you see a problem, when you read any problem, the first thing that comes to your mind is most likely will be correct. If it is not correct, you will get the counter case immediately. Okay. I don't think like if you have seen a problem, even though it is not optimal solution, but you will get something. Okay. Uh, like we will do like after the session the questions about like when I started CP that. So let's just focus on the problem part. Okay. Okay. So I think I was on the part where I'm solving problems. Okay. Okay. So the first thing I think about the problem is where I try to reach the solution from. Okay. So if I have thought something about the problem, that even if that something is like brute force and it is like the solution required big O and complexity, and I thought something that can be done in n square, then I will try to optimize that. I will try to think what are the other things that I can do to optimize something like this. Okay. And most of the time, if you have solved some different problems, okay, then you can break your problem into those different problems. This will happen many times. True, I am myself unemployed, so no. In all seriousness, it will help you get a job in good company. But CP will be enough. But like it's not that CP is the only thing that you have to do. You have to be good in different things as well. Okay. But the first idea is the best idea is what I'm trying to convey here. Okay. If you don't get a counter case, the first idea is the best idea. And most of the time, if you have not solved some algorithm after the contest, you will see the tutorial, and I think like 90% of time it will happen that you will blame yourself. Why didn't you think more on this thing? Okay, if this has happened, like you can give me heads up, or I will think like, no, I am alien. Okay. Okay, so this happens to everyone. Like you have thought of some idea and you will not go further in it because you will think it is wrong, and then it seems to be right. Okay. So for the first thing, I will never tell you to prove something. Okay. Proving is good, but it should not be your first objective. Okay. Yes, it's Apoorv who is speaking. Okay. Your first objective should not be proving. It should be, can you think like if you have found some idea, try to think about cases on this idea. Okay. Can it be wrong? Okay. So this also helps many times to understand the problem. Like you will most likely not find any cases, but like it will not happen that you will find many cases because the first idea will most likely be correct, even though like there will be some like twists in that, but it will be most likely correct. Okay. Uh, please don't ask other doubts right now. We will be handling those doubts later. Okay. So after now, what happens is after you have solved a problem and you get a W1 pretest too. Okay. Now the things seem like scary after pretest too because first thing you don't know what is wrong. You know? So like it will feel scary, but there are some things like stress testing. If you have enough time in contest, you can stress test solution. I stress test solutions myself if I have enough time in contest. Okay. But stress testing is like the like furthest thing. Like it is like the most edge case you can do. Okay. When you get W1 pretest 2, okay, instead of just giving up on the idea, okay, how to improve gradient, coming up with a proof. I don't come up with a proof in contest. I never do. The thing is, I'm telling you, see, the proof, see, the biggest provers most of the time have to take some assumptions. Okay. like I'm not saying that proving is bad here. I'm saying you have to prove, but you don't have to waste 20 minutes of your time in contest to prove something. If like there are, you have to check whether this is right or not wrong on all the edge cases. Okay, if there is some tree problem and you have thought of some greedy approach, check it on like three simple types of graph: a binary tree, a complete binary tree, a star graph, and a line graph. These three are most of the times edge cases. Okay, so like you have to think about the edge cases, and you have to like completely check whether your idea is failing anywhere. Okay, instead of thinking like you have to fail it, you have to like just wish that it passes at that moment when you're thinking. Okay, I can, and you will see like most of the time when I'm in any place, like when I'm in any server talking to anyone, like in most of the time in different servers. So if people have seen me talk, I can prove the problem if I have solved it. Okay, I have actually proved the problem a lot of times if I have solved it after the contest to explain someone else why why this is correct. Okay, but just believing in yourself that your idea is correct, it will give you enough motivation to able to code it. Okay, so I'm not saying that you should not, you should just like blindly submit. That's that's not the real thing to do. Okay, does this clear your doubt that you should prove a problem in contest or not? You should not prove a problem in contest. You should just believe in yourself. Yeah. But yeah, you should prove it after the contest, because proving it will help you, that help you determine how like you were right. And you should like try to prove it yourself most of the time. So after getting WNP test 2, okay, there are two things that you can do: either give up or you can think on your approach a little more. Okay, so the giving up comes when you get another idea while thinking about this problem, your idea more. Okay, so if you're thinking about your idea and you get another direction where you think this direction could also be correct, okay, then giving up on your idea should be good. But if you're not getting any other idea about the problem, then giving up on your idea is like is not a like pretty great thing to do. Like I think most of the time you guys will be feeling something like, I was just missing an edge case. This will happen. You will say, I should have thought a lot more and I should have tried to debug my problem a lot more. Okay, this will happen. Okay, just say as like if this happens to you, that you have got WNP test 2 and it was just some edge case or some like a buggy case that was failing you. Yeah, just missed a simple part of observation. Your overall observation was correct. You just missed a simple part of it. You just missed a simple case. This happens. This happens to everyone. So you have to like just sometimes believe in your idea that you are correct. Okay. In greedy problems, I mostly try to try to simulate everything. Okay. Someone asks us in DP problem, I just try to think about whether I can solve it using some sub problem, and I can solve some sub problem before this problem. This is my thought on DP. My thought on greedy is I try to simulate the problem. When you try to simulate the problem, like what is given, and you do it with hand on some paper, then you most of the time, like this has rarely happened to me that I have done this and I have not come up with a solution or come up with an idea that reaches the solution. I like, I think many people have seen me talk before, and I only say one thing: the most basic observation for the problem is the best observation that you can get. This happens. I have heard many people say that they were just over complicating the problem. The idea was actually simple. If like this has happened to, like, I think you guys too. So you don't have to like overcomplicate the problems. You just have to like think in a like a basic manner. Like the most basic observation is most often the correct one. This is what I say. And I never like treat like I never think that a 2400 problem can have a hard observation, or a 500 like, or a like something like 1500 problem can have easy observation. Like it's just a simple observation that what the problem is asking you and what you can do about it. If you think like that, I think most of you here like will be able to solve some of the harder problems as well. Okay, this has this has happened to like me before. Like this happens and you get a breakthrough. Like you will get a feeling when you get like more hooked to things. So you will get hooked when you are like getting good results, of course. Then you will like try to do it more and get better results and try to satisfy your ego. Okay, so this happens a lot. Yeah, like what the problem asks and what is the most basic thing to do, what is the most basic way to answer that. It's not about how to solve that problem. It's about what's the most basic way to answer the question that they gave us. Even if it's just like simulating something, even if it's just like trying every possible like subsequence to answer that. Like you have to choose some subsequence, then trying every subsequence can also be your answer. Like try every subsequence on paper, then you realize that what was the proper subsequence that you had to choose. That can also be your answer. There are many things like to consider when you say basic observation. Okay, so I don't have a general problem right now, so I can only say that the most basic observation will be the correct observation. Okay, so I think after WA1 pretest 2, we were on debugging, how to debug your codes. Okay, debugging is, people like think like debugging is hard. Like you have to think about edge cases only. Okay, some of the edge cases are, I think in most of the case, I have given edge cases for examples only, right? For like, I have given edge cases for trees just a few minutes ago. Three edge cases mainly, where like a complete binary tree, a line graph, and a star graph. And if you don't know what these things are, please just say something about that. I will just share my screen and draw them. Okay, you don't know. Sorry. Okay, so I will just share my screen now. Okay. Is it visible? If someone can like, Ashish, can you please unmute and like tell if it is visible or not? Hello? Anyone can like just please unmute and tell me if my
The screen is not visible.
It is not visible.
okay. I think I will have to do this. Is it visible now?
Now it is visible.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so do you know what a tree as a data structure is?
Yes.
Okay, so star tree is just something like this. This is a central root node, and all of them are just some random nodes. Okay. Sometimes if you want another edge case, you can just connect two star trees. And this is many times edge case as well. Okay. And a line graph is something like a node. like just a linked list basically. All of these were these like sharp edges are nodes. Okay. And but complete binary tree, I don't know. If you have learned DSA, if you don't know complete binary tree, I think you guys should actually learn complete binary tree because binary tree traversal is asked in interview, I suppose. I've seen some interviews. I have to prepare for interviews too. Okay. Okay. So you can see this. This is a type of a complete binary tree. Okay. So this is often an edge case as well. Okay, because of the balanced structure around the thing, and the star graph is like bad because it is too compact in itself. And maybe you are making some assumptions that think that a tree is sparse in your problem. And another line graph, it is because it is way too sparse. Like it is not clumped up together. The nodes have a like very low degree. So these are the reasons that these graphs are often in edge cases. These trees are often in edge cases in tree problems. So this is just an example to give you what edge cases are. So this is one way to think, try to debug the problem. You think of edge cases yourself and you try to debug. More often than not, you will find the edge cases yourself. So the trees I have just drawn. I have drawn 3 types of trees right now in 3 problems. Most often, these are the edge cases. And in other types of problems like arrays or graphs or dynamic programming or something normal greedy, most of the time you can just come up with 3 to 4 edge cases yourself. Okay, something like increasing array, something like increasing, decreasing, these types of arrays. Then you will often get to a observation where you will often get the wrong answer easily. Okay, like you can find the test case easily where you were wrong. If you don't find the test case, even then you can stress test. Now, like if some people wanted to ask how to stress test, there are blogs on code forces, so I don't think I will go over them too much. So I can share a link if you I will share a link maybe after we are finished with the session. Is that okay? uh, I don't have like a actual real problem right now, but if you guys want to know, I could give you a example for yesterday. Yesterday you have given contest, right? Yeah, you guys have given contest yesterday. So there was n comma. There was a problem where you had to remove from. There was a like very big set, and you had to remove some numbers in it, and then you had to tell after the k operations. Then yeah, C problem. After the k operations, what is the number? So do all of the guys remember that problem? Is there anyone who doesn't remember the problem? Okay. Okay. Smallest number remaining. Okay, correct. So you have n comma k and you have a0, a1, a2 until like an minus one numbers. Okay. So my idea was that answer will be very less depending. I saw I saw like sample test cases. My idea was that answer will be around 15 to k. So maybe I can iterate on these numbers and find the answer. Okay. Now I think maybe if someone has solved this problem, can you tell me that either I'm wrong or right here? Like I am wrong because I'm going to show the edge case where it is wrong, but like someone would try to like suggest why this was wrong, or maybe suggest an edge case where this was wrong. So I thought that my answer would be very less. My answer would be around 50, would be less than 50 into k. N comma k was less than equal to 2 into 10 to the power 5. And I thought my answer would be less than equal to 50k. Yeah, like most of you got it. This was the edge case where this would be wrong. Because the samples had n very small n and the and distribution was like a random. So the answer was 50 into k. If distribution is random, answer will be like very small. But distribution is not random here. Yeah, like I haven't read the editorial yet because I was trying to read the editorial for B, C, and D. Okay, Div 1, B, C, D. But I heard like it had big of n solution, but my idea was n log n into k because it seemed like more obvious to me that we can binary search on answer. My binary search idea was how many numbers less than equal to some value x remain after we are done with operations. Okay. Uh, I won't like go over how to do that right now. Okay. So this was wrong. And see, so such an obvious case where 1 to n is given only, this is wrong at such an obvious case. And when I was thinking about the problem, I missed it. Okay. So you can see that sometimes just thinking about the basic observations is like most definitely not the correct way. Like I thought 15 to k was right, but I got the edge case pretty easily. Okay. Then my idea that we can do binary search on answer was actually correct, and there are solutions that like I think most of the people solved in with binary search. Something like n into log of nk. But I think I saw tourist solution by the way. I didn't see the tutorial. He did something like magical. Generally, tourists they all did something magical. By I don't. I would have never thought that, and I think binary search on answer had a shorter code. So I think I win. Okay. Tourist's answer was quite large. I didn't see Jungli's solution. Tourist solution was had more lines than my solution, so I win. Yeah, they came up with some formula. Who cares? Just binary search. Amnik said all you need to know is binary search. So we just go the Amnik way. Okay. I think so. Thinking on like the binary search up was like the most decent idea for me in this problem. I think coming up with that. And here I've shown you like the most often the edge cases where just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a very simple edge case. You can think of edge cases like this. This is an edge case, and this gives wrong answer to my thought process. Okay. You will most often get the edge cases correct. That's what I'm trying to say. If you have created some solution, but instead of like panicking after getting WA, you have to calmly think about 1 to n. Okay. And I don't support like just like I'm a big fan of Omnic. Okay. So as he said, I don't support like opening standings between content. Okay. I open standings when I'm done done with first three problems, and like I'm reading some hard problem that like I can't solve for some time now, and I want to see like how many submissions it has and like which one of my friends have solved it. How much time do I spend on problems? I don't spend like much time on problem if it is not in contest. Like if I'm in contest, I have 2 hours, so I can spend like 2 hours on problems. And in contest, you will, if you are calm enough, you will think better than when you are not in contest. There are still some problems that I think like I cannot solve them if I didn't solve them in contest. I like my time is actually really random. I don't know myself. But if I had to say, I would say 1 minute. Like I don't actually spend time on problems. And I will also disagree that spending some fixed amount of time on problem is actually a bad thing, by the way. Take even a day for hard problems. Is it right? When I was a beginner, I used to take, I still remember there is a problem. It is named some, like it is on CSS, monsters. I was a beginner at that time, and I didn't even know the concept, and I spent 1 week on that problem. I still didn't get the problem. I had to read about the concept.
हाँ
Oh,
ठीक है
okay. So well, I think the code becomes like cleaner when you try to like abstract the things out. Okay. When you look at your code again after the contest, I can most definitely say you can also reduce the lines, some of the lines from your code. Why grandmasters don't recommend editorial? Well, I have not reached grandmaster yet, so I don't know. But by the way, BenQ in one of his interviews, I don't remember exactly where, but I think BenQ in one of his interviews said that he reads the editorial immediately after contest. So not all grandmasters say don't read editorials. Reading it part by part is a good thing. Okay, I'm not saying don't read it part by part. I like I love when editorials have hints, so that you have something to work upon. If you had nothing in contest, but if you have hints, you have something to work upon, and you can think about the hints. In which direction are they trying to take? No, see, like until now, I don't know any advanced math concept. You don't need to know anything advanced. The best math concept I know, I think, is Euclidean theorem. GCD of a comma b is equal to like GCD of a comma a minus b. Yes, GCD. I think that's the most advanced thing I know. Maybe you can say I like inverse modulo is the most advanced thing, but that's okay. That's okay, sir. Okay, so when I was expert, so I was expert for a like I think a decent amount of time. Okay, I was actually I started CF after doing CSCS for a while. Okay, I didn't start like CF directly. Like not for a while, but when I started CF, I was also doing CSCS at the same time. So it was much easy for me to get until the expert because CS I already knew most of the concepts. So there was one question before that asked, where do I learn algorithms? CSCS. Do I need to master to solve diff2 C and D problems? Most of the time, diff2 C and D problems are observations, no DSA. I think the strongest DSA I know should be segmentary. And I have never, like, I've rarely used it in contest. Yeah, I mean CSCS problem set. If you don't know CSCS problem set, maybe someone can just drop the link in the are there how to do. There are solutions. You need to like just search on Google. On USACO guide, all the solutions are present for CSCS. I have done from every topic. So it is not that I have done some topic and left some topic. I have done from every topic a little, like not everything, but I have like done the like easier things in every topic. Not getting ideas is the abstract thing here. Okay. It will never happen that you see a problem and your brain is like blank. If it is, read again. Which resource you followed for binary search? I think there is a good blog on Top Coder. I read it. I was just free and I read the Top Coder blog. I think the best thing about binary search is binary search on answer. I have never used anything more advanced than that. If you like know binary search on answer, you can think about things like other things yourself. How to improve observation for B and C, and would you suggest 1100 rated to learn DP? What now like most of the things is there is no definition for DP. Do you know prefix sum? Prefix sum is DP. Fibonacci is DP. Like you can't say that you have to learn DP. DP is just using something that you have already solved to solve like the problems ahead of you. Okay. Just dividing into smaller problems, solving the smaller problems. Solving a larger problem using the smaller problems. None. Not the topic wise, not the rating wise. Up solving is the best. Now here, the thing is, ad coder is not harder than CF. The difference that I have realized at giving ad coders is ad coder is more standard than CF. Okay. If you know more concepts, then you can pretty much solve ad coder like like ad coder beginner contest I'm talking about. I'm not talking about regular contest for like intermediate or beginner people. Okay. So I'm talking about ad coder beginner contest. ABCs have more of a standard techniques. Okay. Like you have to solve. I have already told you that the only thing I will practice maybe is like CSCS problems at best. I for even every problem, I would say if you have done enough CSCS, getting ideas is not the worst part. Like it is not the end for you. Like you will get ideas. The thing is how you execute the ideas. Okay. YouTube. I submitted a solution, but I can't see my submissions anywhere. The resources I followed for topic. There are many blogs. I just read randomly. The best thing is CP algorithms, maybe. CLRS. Now the CLRS is that like CLRS is not needed if you want to get good enough. CLRS, I have CLRS by the way. I own CLRS. Okay, I have never read it. I open that book and I'm like afraid to like just see what like it is so like it has so many pages. I can't even expect it to read it in 1 month. Like why do I even start? Please recommend. Deepak, I have already told you, like you have to practice the C problems. Maybe you have to absorb the contest. Most likely you got the idea. There is no way to optimize DP or DP states other than like just thinking in your mind about the reductions you can do, or maybe you can just remove some of the states that are not needed. That will come with time. It will not be that you can learn something. Okay, so the English in problem is quite hard. Same happens with me. Well, the thing is read more. Okay, I read again and again until I understand the things. So in CF, most of the time, I think there was some problem in problem D, I think in a global round few days ago. The statement was so bad that nobody understood the statement and the problem was so easy. So it is not like, it is not always your fault. It can be that the problem statement is just so hard to understand actually. You can ask the doubts that you have to the people, but they might answer, they might not answer. But like you can ask them and just read the problem statement again and again. You will understand it eventually. If you don't understand it for hard question, don't look at the tutorial, skip it, and just like star the problem maybe. And after you have grown enough, just come back again. Improve by AC. The up now you have many approaches in mind. Like I think, like I don't know. It rarely happens with me that I have more than 1 to 2 approaches for a problem, but it is pretty easy to discard them using the edge cases that I said. But if you can't get the edge cases, then a little bit proving using like contradiction type proving maybe like a good enough thing. I just have solved. The most of the problems that I have solved are from the contest that I have given. If you remove my contest from Upsolve, I think I have barely solved 100 problems on code forces. CSES covers all the algorithms, and if you just try to complete CSES, it will take you at least like 1 year. What I do on non-contest days, I rest and chill. I'm joking. I give virtual sometimes, but more time there are problems pending to solve, and it is already quite chaotic. And I am in my final year, so I have to study things, like study few things to prepare for interview. Like I have to study core subjects, and I have to study uh, like just development a little. Well, it will rarely happen that if you are able to solve ABC, the chance that you don't know the concept for D is really hard because you are already good enough to solve that much. Will I continue CP after college? See, my my aim might be like a bit preposterous. My aim is to like LGM one day. So if I get time, I might continue after college. But I think like I have seen many people, but slavery kills you. Okay, corporate slavery like just kills everything. You can't do anything else there. So it will be like quite hard even if I want to continue. Uh, are not happening until at least 3 years. See, now, are you from IIT, by the way? If you are asking about quant, like, are you from IIT? Okay, you are not from IIT. Stop. Like, it will be really hard for you. The thing is, quants like hire very less people. Okay, in most of the quant companies, the staff is very low. Google, I will try for Google. I did not. I forgot to like I did apply, but I got rejection before. But then for summer intern, I did not like cold mailed them. So I think that cannot be counted as like just active applying. But I did apply from their site and referral, but it was still useless. It's random. You can't say anything. Like it's just random. You can't say that somebody is good enough and he will definitely get accepted or his resume will definitely get accepted. It's too random to like just think about it. It's not that I was just too coldly rejected. It's just that the situation is bad right now. So it is not like the thing is I'm not getting like hard to get interviews. Okay. Uh I give lead code contests if that counts. Your views on recession? I wish it ends. This is my only view.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Uh, who was that? I'm in my pre-final year. People are recommending to memorize standard DSA problems rather than doing CP. What is memorize? You cannot memorize standard DSA. It is not when you're asked problem in interview, they don't ask you like something like just try to reverse the linked list. It is just a meme. They don't ask you to do that. They will give you a really good problem. Like, but the thing is, I have given no, I did not do any internship. My GPA is really bad. Let's not talk about that. The thing is, like, my GPA is really bad because like I didn't focus on college at all. My GPA got bad in online mode. Okay. Uh shy below 7, just a little bit below 7, 6.9, the best number. How much it took me to become IM? 1400 solves some code forces. My dev skills, like being able to name random things counts as development skills, then okay, I have development skills. I know Rust exists, that's all. Like I'm really bad at development and anything other. Any other online judges. I think there are three main judges that everyone enjoys. Code Chef, Code Forces, at Coder. I think these are the main ones. Timus is good. Maybe Timus is recommended by many people, but I've never tried because I am from Triple IT Pune. Some data structure that you should learn. I think there are many blogs on Code Forces about like what you can learn. I think there was one practice blog too, what you should practice for each rating range. Not make if I want to reach IM. Some mistakes that you should not make if you want to reach IM. Just like think calmly in contest. Rank doesn't matter at the end. At the end, how many you solve matters. And don't never like think about not skipping a problem just because the next one is harder. I read most of the times, even in Div 1, I read until E. Even though I'm never able to understand D and E, but I will read until E. Cheating has been increased too much. Submission increases very fast in last performance. Bad rank. Bad rank is like just the worst. Like it is not something you are aiming for. Once you get good enough, the tutors will stop affecting you. And that good is not like really, really good. That is just decent. There are, I think, not many bad resources for CP, but like not many good resources for math in CP. See, in terms of math, I don't know many advanced things. So I can't tell you good math resources for CP. ICPC, I think maybe you should like ask just Karan, maybe like he's like world finalist, I think. I will like actually say that just Karan and his team did really, really well in ICPC this year. So you should ask him. I followed Code Forces only. He made a really good hashing video, I guess. That's my only opinion. Mm, Like that's all I watched. Like I've seen his hashing video, that's all. So that's my only opinion. He made a good video on hashing, and I learned something from that video. Coding culture at my college, not the best, not the worst. I think it's average. Uh, maybe people can like just like in my college, I don't think people like are trying their best in CP, but maybe in dev, people are like excelling. Some people are good in really good in dev. Social life is just facade. There's no social life. Yeah, I only absorb CF and red coder contests regularly because most of the time in codeship, I'm able to like solve until second last or third last problem, and the next one I can get in after just after contest. Now the thing is how to improve implementation. Okay, so there was once a time when I used to write really bad codes, and I would look at Jungly code and I would like always think how he was thinking. Okay, so when I'm implementing things, I got my ideas mainly from Tourist and Geothermal and Jungly. I looked at these three codes. I mainly looked at Geothermal, okay, because he was like the most humane among the three of them. Okay. Uh, Tourist and Jungly write something otherworldly. Tourist just writes too fast, even if it's big. If you like, Geothermal is like one of the top coders. Like, he is LGM, he is 7 star, 7 star. Like, so rank, not the rank one, but rank three with a penalty. That's the big part. But questions are very tough to understand. How many problems we see at rules and last questions are very tough to understand. If you understand the problem and you have given enough time to think about the problem's ideas, and you and go in the like I will say go in the deep dark forest of that problem, like to get lost there. Okay, then you can read it well. Like if you are really lost in the problem and you don't know anything else, and like you have given enough time, then you can read that well. Improves observation. No, looking at red coder codes doesn't improve observation. It can improve your insights on how you could implement something better. The last problem in CSCS are really tough. I have not solved last problems. I have solved 200 out of 300 problems, and it is hard for me to solve further problems. So you can already guess the difficulty. The 200 problems I have solved, I can guarantee that you guys can also solve because the observations, there are no observation problems. They are just directly, yes, you can become IAM from lead code. You just have to work hard enough. There are no must do CSS questions. Just start doing. If you can't do, just read something about it. If you still can't do, skip. I was expert for like I think 7 to 8 months, so it was a decent time. But I think jumping from expert to CM mainly came from like two things about how much I practiced. I practiced a little more. Uh, I practiced a little more, mainly from expert to CM. I didn't practice anything on code forces before expert. I just did some CSS and I found like myself that I was already an expert level. Like I was already an expert. So from expert to CM, it was like I had to start practicing the on code forces more. So I started practicing more and I used to like solve. I think I had a like group where we used to just dual 1800, 1900 daily. I was in a server where people just asked me to dual 1800, 1900. I was always just up for it. And I dual 1800, 1900 like really for a real long time. And you can see, you can see that I have like a really big stick for 1800 and 1900. Don't underestimate CSES. In my opinion, CSES is the best thing you can do. Like because one of my seniors, he was asked a CSES problem directly in his interview, and it was for quite a like a decent company. Yeah, the more do you solve IMO or IOI problems? I have not solved IOI problems or IMO problems at all. I find math problems really difficult. Math problems are like just no good for me because I have never been like the good, really like decent math guy. Like I had a like really good understanding of mathematics, but I was not a IMO guy. CSS has 300 problems. I have solved 200 of them. I think 194, I guess. I have only once full solved a div2 contest. I'm not able to solve all the problems in div2 contest because most of the time in div2 contest, the most difficult problem is 2800 rated. And I'm not 2800 rated. So it is really hard for me. But I think a 2500 coder should be able to full solve the div2 round completely. Last problem mainly comes down to your knowledge, I think, many times. Any other problems? Like any other questions? Okay, so the thing is about the more you expert to high level things, there are better chances and have better ideas because the problem. Is it right? Yes, it is completely right. The thing is, the high level things in here, I am interpreting it as the more you solve harder problems. Okay. So some algorithm that I have studied and not used for CP. No, I have not done any online courses for CP. Algorithms that I have studied and not used. I don't think there is any algorithm that I have studied and not used. Like I have all practiced some problems, but if there is one algorithm that I have not been able to use in contest is the reachability tree. It was just a random algorithm I learned because of one problem that I encountered, but I never used it in contest. Neither all the other algorithms I have used in maybe some kind of virtual contest or something, but that's the only algorithm that I can remember. I don't set a problem on code forces. The thing is, setting a problem is different than solving it. So whenever I set a problem, this happens to me a lot. I find ideas very trivial and I just discard it. And I find that those kinds of problems on code forces many times. If you want to complete CSCS, forget it. You will take at least 1 year if you want to learn from every problem properly. Moving on to CF will be hard before, like you should do both of them parallelly. For internships, yes, because lead code has many standard problems too, but you can practice them. I'm not good at ML, but I passed my ML exam and I did pass my ML lab too. My typing is PD 60 words per minute at best. Okay, about upsolving. So how I generally upsolve is because most of the time I'm like sleeping around 1 a.m. or 12 a.m. like around that time. So mostly I absolve just after the contest. That's the best time, I will say. Because you have already been thinking about that problem the entire contest. And you had already the best of the ideas that you could have. Because after contest happens for me, my brain shuts down and I cannot think many things. And just after contest is the best time to absolve, and just absolve around that time. The more the merrier. Okay, it's not about how many hours you should dedicate to do something. It's just you want to dedicate, 1 hour, just dedicate 1 hour. It's up to you. There's no upper limit. I have like given around 1 week to problems. I have given 10 minutes to problems. It's not about the upper limit. It's just about how interested you are in that problem. See, the concept is the doubt that the concept is not known will come to you. Like there are a limited number of concepts. Okay. So if you are solving a problem and you come across a problem that you don't know the concept of, you can ask someone, is it the concept that you know or you don't know? Okay. You can ask a hint that what concept does it use it. Okay. And I can assure you, you know the concept most of the time. If you don't know segmentary, like if you can learn segmentary, then you know like 90% of the competitive programming concepts that I have encountered personally. For upsolving, do I read anyone's solution? Most of the time, no. But if I don't understand the coding part myself, then I might look at them. But it rarely happens that I look at others' codes before I solve myself. What I said, like I just when I was like doing the session, I explained that the most basic observation is often the best one. So you don't have to like think about many different things that what you can apply. You just have to think about something really basic and try to like just hang on to that. Something really basic is try to like just solve that problem on pen and paper yourself. If you were solving it, what you would do? What's my goal to do in life? I guess get married by 28, have kids by 35, and just enjoy. LGM is not a life goal, yeah. Like if LGM is my life goal, what will I do after LGM? Maintain LGM. It doesn't work like that. 21 पे नौकरी इस साल ही चाहिए. And it's also teaching CP to enthusiasts. I don't know if I will teach CP currently. I might, but I don't know yet. Any other interest apart from CP? Maybe you can say chess, but I don't play chess often. I just play like 1 to 2 games a day, barely. Cricket, I used to play cricket in my school. I am into anime, but I don't watch anime. I read manga generally. And it's not about I enjoy CP. So it's rarely that I am like, no, I don't want to do CP anymore. Most of the time, I think I have 50 tabs open, 25 of them are code forces on my laptop. I don't, I think I take really less time on solving A and B problems. I think it will take me around 15 minutes to solve ABC in most of the contests combined. Then in D problem, it often takes me around like 15 minutes to 30 minutes. So it depends on whether D problem is hard or not, but it's just that amount of time. And I think it's just like that is the amount of time I take. And I think I'm quite slow compared to other people at the same rating range. I am from CSE. At start of beginning C code forces. if you have frustration in CP, like just do something like do like 10 push-ups or something. I don't have any frustration in CP. The bad contest is on me, the good contest is on me. It's always like just me. Either like it's not about like it was not anyone else's fault. So it's not frustrating too much. No speed training, I guess. I never do speed training. You get better with solving problems because most of the time it's about thinking speed rather than some kind of other speed. So I can do two, maybe three. Jokes aside, I have not tested limits. So I think around five, maybe. Maybe five I will be able to do, but I don't know after that. See, Anand, it is RNG. Okay. It is not something that Google will see this person is 7 star, let's recruit them. No. I will apply and it will be like, okay, whether I get accepted or not, it's just too random to even guess like what I don't even know what their criteria is to shortlist the resume. I think maybe they just do some kind of spinning wheel or something. All companies do that. You can never be like really sure at any company. Worry about CF rating, good or bad. Like what if like worrying about CF rating is actually really bad because it's just some random numbers written online that you are happy about. You can make your own site and give yourself something like LGM title. Who cares? Or wait for Christmas. Like rating is just some random numbers written online. Like you will do you think that Rainbow doesn't get the respect he deserves? Like he's lower rated than me. Do you think? But if you had to bet on one of us, who would you bet on? Bet on me losing. Okay. So अभी आप किसी कंपनी में प्लेस्ड हैं? नहीं, अभी मैं किसी कंपनी में प्लेस्ड नहीं हूँ. बट लाइक ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं बहुत बेरोजगारी से like, परेशान तो हूँ मैं. बट ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं हूँ कि नहीं होगा. मतलब पर ऐसा है कि कई बार बुरा लगता है कि नहीं है. बट ठीक है, हो जाएगा अंत में. क्योंकि ऐसा कभी नहीं होता कि हार्ड वर्क डजंट पे ऑफ. ठीक है. सो आई थिंक हो जाएगा. और मे बी जब होगा तो आई थिंक ठीक ठाक ही हो. आई विश. वरना फिर TCS तो होती है, ले लेती है सबको. लाइक दैट्स जस्ट अ फन. लाइक आई डोंट लाइक. अब तुम ऐसा थोड़ा ना बोल सकते हो कि जो भी मुझसे कम रेटेड है वो प्लेस्ड नहीं है. तो वही चीज है. इट्स अबाउट लक. अब हाउ मच लकी यू गेट. लाइक I'm like entirely placing it on luck, but it's just that I did not study core in college and I fucked up at that time. So it's not just entirely about luck. So I read core now. Okay. Thank you, Tanmay. I know decent enough to say random words for 20 minutes. After that, I will be silent. So I just know that much development. I have not done like HTML, CSS at all. I like in terms of coding type development, forget it. I I have not done HTML and CSS. I have done JavaScript by the way. I don't know anything at all in HTML, CSS. I did read, but I forgot everything. Any regrets in my CP journey? I didn't. I regret that I didn't start earlier. ओके कि सर बी प्रॉब्लम में फंस जाता, बहुत टाइम लग जाता, क्या उपाय है? काम रहो, काम, पेशेंस सबसे बड़ी चीज है आई थिंक कॉन्टेस्ट में। ट्रू। काश, मतलब सीपी में क्या है ना, मैंने अपने सेकेंड ईयर के बाद, अपने सेकेंड ईयर में शुरू करा था। हाउ टू बीट एलजीएम, like first you have to find them. There are very few in world. There, that is the only way I know. स्टैंडिंग देख के कामनेस उड़ जाती है। स्टैंडिंग मत देखो। मैं बुरे कॉन्टेस्ट में स्टैंडिंग नहीं खोलता, मैं सिर्फ अच्छे कॉन्टेस्ट में स्टैंडिंग खोलता हूँ। मैं बुरे कॉन्टेस्ट में स्टैंडिंग भूल जाता हूँ कि एग्जिस्ट भी करती है। बुरा कॉन्टेस्ट जब मुझे बुरा लग रहा होता है। मतलब क्योंकि बुरे कॉन्टेस्ट में मोस्ट ऑफ टाइम एक प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहा होता हूँ जो मुझसे नहीं हो रही होती है, और मैं करता रहता हूँ उसको पूरे टाइम। यार आई डोंट नो इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस। मैं वही बनता हूँ जो पूरी किताब पीली कर देता था एग्जाम से पहले। 10,000। Yeah, I started CP in second year. Uh, I made accounts before that. I made accounts to just give contest, but I did not give contest. So my account formation will be pretty early, and I'll give two contests before September, I think. And in September, my third semester was in the middle of going. हाँ वही, मैं जनरली मैं क्यू की जगह, मतलब मैं क्यू की जगह वेक्टर यूज करना शुरू कर दिया। और क्योंकि डीबग करना आसान हो जाता है, क्योंकि तुम क्यू को प्रिंट नहीं कर सकते यार, मतलब कभी भी। मैं बीएफएस वेक्टर से करता हूँ। यार मेरा कोड देख लेना प्लीज, अपूर्व अंडरस्कोर मी। अभी रिसेंट कॉन्टेस्ट में लास्ट डिव 3 का लास्ट प्रॉब्लम था आई थिंक। सीएम बन, बहुत लोग 3 से 4 साल तक। यार इक्वेशंस बेसिक ही रहती हैं, तुम्हें बस उनको कामली देखना होता है। पैटर्न रहता है हर बार, तुम्हें एक पैटर्न रिकॉग्निशन अच्छा चाहिए होता है। टेलीग्राम के लिंक नहीं मिलेगा। हाँ, एंड करते हैं, बिकॉज आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ द जो रियल क्वेश्चंस थे वो तो आंसर हो गए हैं, और टेलीग्राम का लिंक तो मैं नहीं दूंगा। ओके, चलो, बाय, गुड नाइट।